my, sorry, give me 1 second. Just a second. William's here. Williams, sorry. William, how are you? How's Reaper coming along? I checked in about 45 minutes ago. I want to bring up my page on my desktop. Easy to read the comments. Vincent's here, Horror of Spice. Tara says, hey Yogi. Tara, how are you? Vincent says, hey everyone. How's everyone's Saturday going? Tara says she's fine. Awesome. So I started off talking yesterday about meditation, METTA, and which translates to loving kindness meditation. Horace Spice says, Mrs. got a scooter today. Awesome. That's got to make things easier, right? What kind of scooter? Mrs. Horror of Spice. Becky, how are you? Vincent was just saying that you got a scooter. So, I'm going to talk a lot about well-being, overall well-being, of course. And all that it encompasses. And sometimes I don't feel like I talk enough about meditation, which is odd, as I'm a meditation teacher. Becky says, good, can't wait until it arrives today. Nice. Electric scooter. That's going to make, probably make things a lot easier, right? Tara says, guys, I have 2,455 subs. That's absolutely awesome, Tara. I would say it's because you put out such a positive message. You're talking on a subject that is meaningful and dear to your heart, personal, and you do so in a very easygoing manner. I think those are the kind of things that attract people, you know. There's thank you, Horror of Spice. Mrs. Horror of Spice says, congratulations, Tara. We got a few people who are working on their getting 2K. Eric LaPointe being one. As well, right now, as we're speaking, our friend, the Burpee Reaper, I'll drop his link. He's celebrating his 1K subscribers by doing, I think this is his second or third Holy Grail. Holy Grail is 1,000 burpees in a single session. Jive Cat the Magnificent is here, checking in. Jive Cat, how are you? How is everything in Jive Cat the Magnificent's life? Jeff Cat says the Holy Grail is vicious for sure. You still hitting the burpees, Jive Cat? And are you still running? Any races coming up? Jive Cat says, respect mate, doing well. I'm in Poland, competing in the GSBA Worlds. Wow, awesome. Hey, is any of this going to be online? Is it seeable? Our friend Sue is here. Just one Sue says, hey there, everyone. Sue has been, I said squirrel because I'm thinking of squirrels. Sue has been capturing some awesome squirrel videos. Everyone's saying hi, and our friend Timo Optimob is here. So Javkat is talking about Filipino martial arts, and he's competing in Poland in the World Championship. That's awesome. What are the events? I'm thinking what, double stick, single stick? Sue says hey to, or I'm sorry, Becky says hey to Sue. Kayla's here. Kayla Bill says hi, Yogi. Kayla, how are you? Appreciate you being here. Jeff Cat says no races right now. I did the 4x4 48, the David Goggins challenge in June. Nothing else lined up, brother. And yeah, my last match is online now. So guys, I hope you check him out. Give me a second, guys. I actually have not done the 4x4 48. I wanted to do, when I was doing a lot of 24-hour races, man, Milk and I were doing one once a month, once every other month. I was really thought about putting it all together and doing a 48-hour, even maybe a 72-hour event. But I never quite got to the 48-hour. It's not officially off the table. I'm only semi-retired. Sue says she got a lot of chipmunks this morning. Everywhere I walk, I don't see chipmunks. As a matter of fact, in my area, I've only seen chipmunks maybe 2 or 3 times. Javcat says live stick, single and double. Already did padded stick yesterday. Silver yesterday, nice. Bronze today, good job. So what's today? Rear? Am I pronouncing that right? Rear says hello from Japanese Joe. Well, it's nice that they give you internet in the Japanese Joe. Sabine says hello, Yogi Eric. Hello, Sabine. How are you? Let's see. Vincent said he's going to be putting out a short later today. Awesome. Hope everyone here is connected with each other. Matthew says, do you like Ruffles barbecue chips? Not the official brand Ruffles. As a vegan, I don't know if they're vegan or not. You know what? Pringles are vegan. Pringles are great in a race. Good source of calorie, high in sodium. Easy on the stomach. If you're doing an ultra, I highly, highly recommend Pringles. I've done races eating nothing but vegan junk food. I've done races eating nothing but fruit. I prefer the fruit, to be honest. It's just easier on the stomach. William says he's waiting for Lewis to finish before I post my first video. Nice. It's a big day. Lewis celebrating his 1K, doing it with another Holy Grail, and William posted his first burpee video. As well, our friend Cat the Magnificent is competing in the World Championship. Eskrima. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's Filipino martial art, and he did the live stick single and double. He got a silver yesterday and a bronze today. Cat says you do it easy. I'm sure, man. I'm overweight and got it done. The thing is a commitment. You know what I mean? To waking up that often and get it in. You really need to be committed into doing that. So tempted to roll back over and go to sleep. This is why when I was doing 24-hour races, a lot of people faster than me would take a break, take a nap. I always figured if I took a nap, who knows if I want to get back up to do any more running. So I just stay up all night. Speed says, hi everyone in this chat. I hope you're all doing fine. Thank you, my friend. Get a cool emoji from Kayla. So hey, and William's putting up his first video. So guys, check him out. Speed is fine. Matthew says hi. Red Flag says, what a clown. No doubt. I have made people laugh in my time. Tara says, red flag, please stop. Jeff Cat says, veganism for the win. Respect, man. Yeah, people sometimes want to debate, is it the healthiest choice? Are there healthier choices? You better to be plant-based and including some meat. I think plant-based is the way to go, health-wise. However, as an ethical vegan, I don't feel like I have that option. That, my diet is a reflection of my personal choices, not just for health reasons, but ethics as well. But I don't wish to project that on anyone else. It's just my decision. Jive Cat says, perfect pronunciation, man. I got lucky. If I try to say it again, it would come out totally different. So Jive Cat, you said you had shown some interest in Course in Miracles a few weeks ago. William says, I would rather lose and then get recognition. Understandable. However, there's always enough to go around. This is why, if someone goes live when I'm live streaming, I want to let people know. Jive Cat says, whole foods, plant-based for health, vegan for ethics. Exactly. 100%. Let's see. Vincent says, well, getting off to finish my morning ritual. Thanks for stopping by, Vincent. As well as Mrs. Horfspice, Becky. I hope that scooter is exactly what you need right now. Tara says, I will not allow anyone to disrespect you, Yogi. Tara, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's good to have someone, having your back. Man, all my moderators have been so cool about that, too. Shyland says, how old are you? I'm pretty old. 59 years old. I almost said 51. I don't know why. It has been a while since I was 51. Speaking of ultra running, which I was with our friend Jeff Cat, I started ultra running when I was 45 and didn't finish my first 100. That was my third attempt until I was 50. I got a friend, I mentioned this the other day, William will remember, um, who has done 100-mile races in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and now 70s. And I have no doubt he'll do one in his 80s. Sue says, Optimob, I was surprised myself. Oh, Sue says, got a nice dragonfly video too unposted. Nice. I will be checking them out. Sue, just one Sue. You get a perfect slice of the Susquehanna River, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and she's got a great eye for detail. A lot of stuff that some people might miss, zeroes right in. Let's see. Jack Gat says, yeah, mate, I hear good things about Course in Miracles, and I think Russell Tarr got really a lot out of it. Also, Zochan, the more of the mystical branch, direct experience in Tibetan Buddhism. I got a book that he wrote just on that subject right behind me, his exploration into non-duality. Course in Miracles, some might say, is the ultimate non-duality. It is experience ourselves as an aspect of God. I've mentioned before, I picked it up. I started reading about it in the late 80s. I picked it up in the 90s. I read books about it. I kept picking it up and starting it and putting it aside, picking it up and starting it for, man, almost 20 years. And then in 2008, I committed and said, all right, I'm going through the entire workbook. I'm going through the text. I'm going through the manual for teachers. I committed the year for it. It's been quite an experience. I'm going to go ahead and read Shyland's comment, who has said, what's the best remedy for getting your hair back if you're suffering from baldness? Man, if I only knew. Here's a tip, though. Don't suffer from baldness. Just be bald. If it happens, just be bald. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have options of a hair transplant and you think it would make you happier, it doesn't mean that you can't try certain products. When I realized that I had long blonde hair all through my life, was a deadhead following the Grateful Dead. I was known for my long blonde hair. And then when I noticed it was going, and it was going pretty quick, I just decided, you know what? I didn't want to worry about it. I just shaved my head. This was in 1999, I believe. And that's been it, you know? So the key is not to suffer. And a lot of people find that a difficult concept. How do you not suffer? Because suffering is entirely optional in a psychological aspect. Sorrow, grief, depression, you name it. All of those aren't optional. We're all going to suffer grief. We're all going to suffer, or we're all going to have grief. We're all going to experience sorrow. Everything. I forget which philosopher said, nothing human is foreign to me, which is true. Nothing human was foreign to the Buddha, whose very essence of his teaching is suffering is optional, because suffering is the psychological addiction to something other than we're experiencing now. So that is like being bald and saying, man, I can't take being bald any longer. That is like experiencing grief and saying, I'm tired of grieving. I need to experience something else. I need this, I need that. Pushing it aside instead of just simply grieving. Grieving is how we get over grief. Wish I could say the same thing about being bald. We don't we don't get over being bald. However, when we accept I'm just bald, we're no longer suffering, and life goes on. William says, Tryland, I would say not to be bound to the perspective of others would help more than trying to control something uncontrollable. Nicely said, William. Tara says, I have to be careful of what I eat. In what way, Tara? I'm always interested in people's dietary journeys. We got cool emojis from Kayla. So yeah, in 2008, after that was 18 years or so, actually maybe 20 years. If I first read about Course in Miracles in 1988, let's say, we're talking about 20 years. Of off and on. The reason why it's off and on is because the Course is, the entire premise is seeing through the ego, not overcoming the ego, not destroying the ego, but simply seeing through the illusion of the ego. And the last thing the ego wants is to be seen through. So it's always rebelling. So you hit these sticking points. But then comes a time when you know you got to dig in. For me, it was divorce, my mother going through Alzheimer's, my father had a stroke, all kinds of other issues. 2008, 2009, that was the year I just decided I'm done. I'm diving in. My mistake was when I finished the year, believing that now that I finished the text and the workbook, that it was all going to continue working through me. Slowly, the ego built its defenses back up so that I was no longer seeing through the ego. I was reacting from ego again. Maybe to a lesser extent, because my decades-long practice of meditation certainly helped, as did yoga and breath work. But when I noticed, especially starting the political season of 2016, that I was reacting to media, I was reacting to politicians. I didn't like that. I don't like reacting to other people in that way. I don't mind being responsive, but I don't want to be reactive, because that means someone else has control over me. It also means the ego has control. So the urge to realize that, well, let's say, first the urge to pick up A Course in Miracles again and make it more of a commitment, more of a practice, that you can't just read it and put it down if you expect it to work, that you practice those lessons and you practice those lessons and you practice those lessons. Forgiveness is the basis, and you have to just keep forgiving over and over again. Jeffcat says, love listening to you speak, brother. I hope you have an awesome evening. Thank you, Jeffcat. It was nice talking with you. You got one more day of competition? If you do, good luck. Go for the gold. William says, have you talked with Mocha yet? Mocha, I haven't seen her today. We've chatted a bit, but I haven't seen her today. Jeffcat is heading out for food now. Take care. Much love. Enjoy your meal. And have a good day. William says you cannot be fully committed part of the time. 100%. Straight out of the Course. William says, have a good meal. See you around. William, have you checked out Jivecat's channel? He is another great burpee practitioner. Old school. These are the original COVID burpee guys. The ones that, couldn't get to a gym, so they started doing burpees. Smith says, yes, Jive Cat the Magnificent. What a great name, too, by the way. Like to listen to Yogi Eric as well. Always helps so much. Thank you, Sabine. I appreciate that. And that's the way I feel about watching you guys and listening to you guys um, on your videos, from the premieres to the live stream, even to the shorts. It's part of my, it's actually become part of my daily practice. You know, I try to stay immersed in nature as much as possible. I go out for my twice a day walks, sometimes 3 times a day, or even just sitting on my deck and watching the birds, watching the squirrels, whatever else happens to pass by. It also um, it also helps. You can watch it online, and you can get. I've seen different studies: 80%, 90%, some say 100% of the benefits of nature by watching nature on TV, online. It's soothing, it's calming, and taking a drive with Sabine and Timo, part of my therapy. Jeff Cat says, later everyone, much love to Sabine and the gang. Double live steak tomorrow. I hope you bring home the gold. Jeff Cat says, peace to you, my friend. I just looked in for Burpee Reaper. I haven't heard a rep count yet, so I don't know where they are rep-wise. Speed says, one thing is happening after another, and I can tell you it's not easy, but that's life, eh? This is true. This is life. That is, again, that's the message of the Buddha, that life is change, and that we suffer because we try to cling to that which is changing. We want something permanent. And yet, as Sabine says in all of her wisdom, it's always one thing after another. I mentioned before Ken Keyes, a great author in the 70s, early 80s. He wrote a bestseller called The Handbook of Higher Consciousness. And I used to listen to him talk on NPR, National Public Radio, as well as interviews. I never saw him. And then one day I saw him on a talk show. I didn't realize he was actually paralyzed from the neck down due to polio when he was already in his early adulthood. I don't remember how much time he spent in an iron lung, but he never fully recovered and he was paralyzed, completely paralyzed. And yet, he wrote this wonderful book on a handbook of higher consciousness with a very easy precept, we should say. And that is, we all have our demands in life. We demand faster lines, easier traffic, polite people. We demand things to stay the same. We demand things to change. We demand and demand and demand. And his recipe was simply elevate your demands to a preference. Because we can all deal with a preference. I would prefer the line to be faster. I would prefer if there wasn't a traffic jam. I would prefer if people were nicer and more polite. Sometimes you get that preference, sometimes you don't. It's no one's job to meet your preference. Not even your own. And remember, it really struck me that he just took the essence of Buddhism and broke it down in a very easy to follow means. Up your demands to a preference. See how much easier life is. Because all that stuff is still going to be there. It's still going to happen. Someone's still going to be rude to you. Traffic is still going to suck. Lines are still going to be long. One way or the other. However, if it's just an easy preference, I'd rather things be otherwise. You get by. And it's summed up perfectly with what Sabine says. Uh, it's not easy, but that's life. I mentioned before my friend who has done all those ultra races. It's actually a national ultra legend. First guy to ever do what's called the Grand Slam of ultra running, 400-mile races over the course of summer, all of them difficult. Yep, none were easy. Leadville, Western States, Old Dominion, which is not too far from here. It's in Virginia, as well as I can't remember the last one. It's been a while since I thought about ultra running in a serious way. However, he told me when I started ultra running that a 100-mile race, specifically, we could say any ultra, but he was talking specifically about 100-mile races. It's a series of problem solving. You run and you hit a problem. Maybe it's a blister. You stop and you deal with it. Because if you ignore it, it just gets worse, and then you're out of the race. And then you start running again. And then you find maybe you're slightly dehydrated. So you drink some water, you get some electrolytes, you start running again. And then maybe you get an upset stomach. So you eat some ginger or you take something to help, and you start running again. If you keep managing all those problems that hop up, you get to the finish line, you get your buckle, you finish the 100-mile race. It's the same way as goes with life. You're born, you're going to hit some problems. You're going to try to learn how to walk, and you're going to fall down a lot. However, you deal with those problems. You look around, you practice. Pretty soon you're walking, and then you're running. And then, you hit with maybe some school difficulties. Then you hit with some adolescent difficulties, and that teenage, nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble for me. Then you find yourself in your 30s and you're going bald. You deal with it. And in the end, you get your buckle. You finish your life. You move on to whatever is next. I don't know what it is. Poker Man is here. Says hello, my friend. Poker, how are you? Appreciate you stopping back. Hey, Sabine, do you meditate? You have a very serene presence that makes me think that you spend some time meditating. Same with Timo. You're both very calm. You're both very, very peaceful. So what's new, Poker Man? Poker Man is at 34 subscribers. He has mentioned, and it's on his page, 50. 50 to go live. Is anyone here not subscribed to Poker Man and would like to? Let's see. Poka says, I don't know if you call it meditation, but I wake up every morning to watch the sunrise. I wouldn't call it formal meditation, but I would definitely call it a meditative experience. That it is invoking the same qualities as meditation. And I mentioned quite a bit the benefit of getting that first sunlight to your eyes. The hormonal reaction that takes place, which sets forth the circadian rhythm to help you sleep later at night. your brain immediately starts to enter the alpha state, the alpha brainwave, which is the lightest form of meditation, just by that first sunrise. And if you're listening to the birds, if you're getting the fractal patterns of trees and bushes and grass, clouds, then you're also increasing, sinking into that deep, deep alpha state, which is the state of creativity and inspiration. It's also peace inducing. I mentioned before that, if someone said, can you give me an easy yoga program? And it's the complete yoga, not just the poses, not just the asanas. And I was trying to break it down into 5 or maybe 6 things to do. You get up early. I was thinking some type of meditation, just focus on the breath. But let's skip that for now. Get up early and simply say thank you. Get up early, watch the sunrise, and say thank you. 2 things. Get up early, watch the sunrise, say thank you. Those 2 go together. Sun salutation. Number 3, take a walk. Number 4, in nature, preferably. 5, do something creative. 5 things. Sabine says, yes, I do. Yeah, I thought that you probably would. Meditation really, really is a game changer, as is breath work. 2 things I wondered why we don't teach in school. Squirrel Sniper says, greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. Speed says, every day, can't go without meditation. I'm with you on that. I agree 100%. I am up. I say thank you. I sit and I do my breath work, going right into meditation. And then I go downstairs. I do 20 to 30 minutes of yoga. Then I have my coffee and I write. And then I hang out with you guys. Squirrel Sniper, do we have a tooth update? I know you said today's agenda was pain management. Pokemon says, I was in a car accident like 15 years ago. I died at the scene. I was revived on the way to hospital. Doctors told me I would never walk, but I am walking. I've been grateful for life ever since. It's awesome that you are back walking. How do you get back on your feet? And the fact that now you're living in a state of gratefulness. Speed says, Poker, if you sit still in sunrise, yep, it's meditation. Nice. There is the Dzogchen Buddhist meditation of, they call it clear sky. And you are simply watching the sky. You're watching clouds, you're watching birds. You're not focusing on anything. You just keep coming back to the sky itself. That's it. And as you watch, you suddenly get the clarification of your own true nature, matching the clear sky. Barb says, blessing and hugs to one and all. Blessings and hug to you, my friend. How are you, Barb? Sabine says, exactly, Yogi. I was just to explain it. Thank you. My pleasure, Sabine. I absolutely love that we are on the same wavelength. William says, being in the way, do you need to meditate? They could already be in the Tao. That's interesting, William. And yes, if you are surrendered to the Tao, then you are already in a natural state of meditation. It doesn't preclude sitting meditation. It's a nice addition to it. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I still have a nice practice that I absolutely love. I don't know if I still need to meditate. I think that, William, you and I have talked about this quite a bit. I think the path of forgiving, of true forgiving, seeing through the illusions, um, takes you all the way to awakening and beyond. However, I absolutely love my time meditating, and all that it's given me in the past. And I find that sometimes my very, very best insights come the moment after I come out of meditation. I love the stillness. I love my mantra. I love the disappearance of the mantra as it fades into silenceness itself, and then I'm just sitting. Barb says God has plans for all of us. Until it is his time, we will still be here to enjoy life. At times it is trying, yet we force ourselves forward. Nicely said, Barb. Yeah, we were talking about that, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. And Barb certainly knows of hard times, and she certainly knows of putting one foot in front of the other and to keep going and to keep going and to keep going. Barb says she's doing okay. Still tired a lot. How is two things. Have you heard from your doctor at all about what's going to happen going forward, and any more thoughts on New Mexico? William says 70 burpees left. Awesome. It's a big day. Speed says loaded squirrel sniper, as is William. Sniper says hello, William and Sabine. Well, New Mexico is out, too far from doctors. As well, as Wolf mentioned, too far from good seafood. If you got to ship in your good seafood, and you're from Louisiana, where you're getting fresh seafood whenever you want it, that is definitely too far away. Sniper says, I wrote a book once translated from Russian about how Tesla received his downloads of information through lucid dreaming. I have read similar. He was definitely in touch, as was William Blake. William Blake's wife once said, someone asked her very wistfully, what is it like being married to such a mystical man, someone who is so in tune? And she said, I don't know, because I don't know him. He has a relationship with the angels and not with me. So he definitely was another person who got his, as was Mozart and several other composers. I believe Mozart said that when he received the symphony, it was all in one piece. All he had to do was record it. Sue says squirrel. Says hi to Barb. Squirrel Sniper says how. I think by getting out of his own way. I think we could all receive similar information, but we're in our own way. There's an ego, and then anything that does come through, the ego is quick to claim. Look at me. Look how smart I am. Look what I've done. Everyone praise me. Everyone worship me. And that blocks off the flow of information. Jack, my friend, how are you? Says Job 6:44. No man can come to me. Nope, John, I think, except the Father, in which hath sent me. Draw him, and I will raise up at the last day. Thank you for sharing. Barb says healing is about 6 months for each surgery. Just slow going. They say about a year to regain most of what I lost. Okay, well, we're on the 15th, 1 month in. So we got the first month of healing down. Let's hope that each day after that 1 month is going to be better and better and better, stronger. Where it says they claim there is no new energy, just reused. It is possible, but I also believe I have lived many lifetimes near the same as this one. Well, in a quantum quantum event, all lives are lived at once. Every possibility. So every past life, every future life, all of it is being experienced now. Einstein saying time is an illusion, albeit a persistent one. Pokemon says he was in the hospital for almost a year, in living therapy around 4 months, in a wheelchair almost a year, then a walker. Um, Sometimes I use it. Therapy is forever, and so is gratitude. So is gratitude. Therapy is forever, so is gratitude. Perfect. Beautiful. I'm glad you're up and walking. Amazingly, some people could have used that experience to turn bitter. Why did this happen to me? My luck. I can't believe this happened to me. All those years recovering, and yet you don't get that sense at all from Pokemon. He's talking about gratitude, watching the sunrise, being at peace. Barb says, William, we believe the same, for energy of the universe and God never ends. It travels from time to time. Beautifully said, Barb. Barb says, Yogi, I've had 5 surgeries, so they say I am overlapping, is why I'm still having a tough time. Yeah, that's understandable. That it's definitely going to make it a little harder. However, as you said, you are making progress. Pokemon says, I've got 5 bolts holding my pelvis together, and I had a back fusion, broke some ribs, and damaged nerves in my left side of my leg. Excuse me. Wow. I'm glad that you got to marvel at medical technology, what they can do, holding us together. Barb says, hi, Pokemon. Poor man says, howdy, Eric. Barb says, I have a double biopsy this month, so not looking forward to that. Yeah, I bet. Let's see. Speed says, awesome to Pokemon. I know exactly what you went through. I was sitting in a wheelchair for almost 3 years. Nobody thought that I would walk again, but I walk. Awesome, Sabine. What, an accident? Speed says, I have a lot of metal screws in my body, but I buy. Our friend CDP is here. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. I'd love to share my courage and give you all strength. Beautiful, CDP. Which is what CDP does. He actually shows up pretty much daily. There might be an odd occasion when our times don't match up, but I know if our times don't match up, he's on someone else's channel and he's doing the same thing. He's spreading love. He's putting out a wonderful message, and he just goes all through the interwebs doing what he does. What a beautiful commitment to make. When you think of how many people show up just to try to be funny, just to try to be clever, just to be unkind for whatever reason they are, which, by the way, you don't have to accept it as unkindness. You can really see it as a Course in Miracles calls it a holy instant. No one is put in front of you without reason. Every attack is a cry for help. If someone is crying for help, Do I perceive it as an attack, or do I offer to help? The best way to help is simply forgiving the illusion that I'm being attacked and offering kindness in return. CDP reminds me of that on his journeys when he goes out and he's just being kind. Barb says, "You're so right, CDP." Speed says, "Yes, a work accident." Man, 3 years in a wheelchair. And they put me together. And look at the life that you have now. You and Timo and Bax. Barb says, "CDP, I connected." Awesome. That's a great connection, Barb. Barb is sending Sabine hugs. CDP says, "Say awesome, everyone. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe for Eric." Thank you, CDP. Much appreciated. Barb says, "I don't have metal in me, but so many items in the body that had surgery. When the weather goes to change, I can tell you it will happen before it does." I get a few achy parts like that as well. Arthritis in the knee, bursitis in the shoulder. I have arthritis in my jaw I have a misaligned jaw. Lower back issue that I'm working through. Jace says, "Just got home. What an amazing day." Hey, Jace, let's hear about it. Let's hear about your day, my friend. Smith says, "Yep, it is a long story. I was for quite a while in the hospital in rehab." Hey, did you ever have any doubts that you weren't going to be able to recover? Or did you always have faith that you were going to get up and walk? And how about you, Pokemon? Same question. Did you ever have any doubts that this is it? This is my life. I'm going to be in pain and I'm going to be miserable. Or did you just have this knowing, this faith that, nope, this isn't how it's going to end, that I will be up and that I will be walking, that I will be watching the sunrise filled with gratitude? Pokemon sends out blessings to Sabine and Barb. Jason saying hi to everyone. Jason, I'm glad you had a good day. We definitely missed you this morning. Barb says, "Don't you just love Mr. Author? My whole body has it. Snap, crackle, and pop all day and all night." Yeah, it is not fun. That's for sure, Barb. Speed says, "My goal was going back on a motorcycle," and I did. Awesome. I was on the back of a motorcycle going down a highway, 120 miles an hour. And I decided, you know what? I am never going to get on a motorcycle again. Barb says hi to Pokemon. Poor man Jim is here. Poor man says, "Anyone here try flossing? Been flossing nerves in my neck and upper back. Having upper body. My neck, upper body. Upper back. Been having issues lately." No, I haven't. I've done lymph node moving, almost like a dance, where you're letting your body go limp, soft, and you just move in a very soft, weird, easy manner, and it drains the lymph nodes, which is supposed to alleviate supposed to help with nerve damage as well as alleviate symptoms of arthritis. Barb says that I'm older. Yeah, I remember my grandfather having really bad arthritis. Speed says, nope. I told the specialist who did all the surgery on me, listen, buddy, you get me back on a motorcycle and all will be fine. And he did. Nice. Jay says, I booked to the heaviest rain, then had to drive 3 hours. Wow. To Silverstone. Once there, the atmosphere made it worth it. Had drinks and food, live streamed twice. It was great. Awesome. I saw your live streams pop up. I haven't had a chance to check them out, but I'm going to. Poor man says, it's very effective. Tried riding through my forearm with a bicycle tire. It feels amazing. Huh. I'm going to look into that. Do you do any foam rolling? I'm in and out with foam rolling. I should do it daily. I do band work, mobility work daily, qigong, a form of qigong daily, but and of course my yoga. But it seems like I only dedicate time to my foam rolling when something hurts, and I really should do it as a preventive. Sabine says, so is more mad at me that something like this did happen to me. And before the first surgery, I told my dad via prayer that, let me see, that I get back to my feet and I will walk and be myself again. I think we move through that anger, or we should move through that anger, but sometimes it gets stuck. And people are at that point for quite some time. Unfortunately, maybe some for the rest of their life. But how Sabine and our friend Poker moved through that, not getting stuck in that point. Speed says, Jason, it was wonderful that you showed us the race in Silverstone. You did make my day. Thank you. Nice. Jay says, I hit a wall at 30 miles per hour. Fractures in 9 vertebrae. Wow. 2 broken ribs, 6 pelvic fractures. Was told 6 months to walk again, but managed basic mobility in 11 weeks. After sex, I just got up and walked. The magic of connection. And then she dumped me shortly after. Well, of course, her job was done. She did what she set out to do. Who knows? Because if it had been any other person, it might not have worked. Poor man says, yes, I got a roller. Got the bike tire idea from Jesse Pollack channel. You've mentioned him before. It's a game changer, man. Check him out. He goes into depth this method and help him recover from a debilitating leg injury. So I'm just going to copy. And I'm going to paste. And that way I'll have him up. Awesome. Thank you, poor man. Speed says, sorry, I usually don't talk about it. That's understandable. I appreciate you sharing. Especially talking with Poker, now talking with Jace about that as well. our friend Squirrel Sniper had his own stint rehabbing, as he had he took a fall. I forget how far it was 40 feet, I think he said. Broke his back. Amazing what the body can recover from. However, I'm not sure it's the body itself that is doing the recovering. I think it's spirit, energy that moves through the body. We could call it chi. We can call it prana, energy, love, God essence. Sabine's laughing at Jace and says, but you know what the fun part is? I walk like a drunken sailor. It gets you from where you need to be. It gets you to where you need to be. That's funny, though. I certainly spent my time walking like a drunken sailor, but I was drunk for an entire decade, as I've mentioned before. Drinking my way through the entire 1990s. Amazing that I made it. Speed says exactly. And you made it back on a motorcycle. Poor man says, had issues with tendonitis in my right forearm for a long time. Wrap my forearms real tight with a bike tire and just do rotations with the wrist and fingers. So everything cleared up. Amazing. Poor man says, I'm recovering from alcoholism myself, Yogi. Congrats. It has been 25 years. I actually don't talk about the years as much as I do talk about the experience and how it happened for me. And I can only ascribe it to grace. I was given the gift of grace, the opportunity to step aside from a decade of drinking. And I don't mean like just going out and getting drunk on occasion. I mean every single day. I tell people I was a social drinker, but I found every reason in the world to be sociable. I was sociable 7 days a week. And on some days, I was definitely more sociable than others. I was sociable from happy hour until the bar closed down. And I drank with a purpose. I drank to get drunk. I drank to completely annihilate myself. And made many, many, many mistakes. And I drank myself out of relationships. I drank myself out of some jobs. I drank myself through wrecked cars, friendships. Speed says, but I kept my promise. And that was important to me. It is. When you make that kind of commitment with yourself, I think the greatest commitment that we can make is that promise that we make to ourselves. The thing with grace is it is entirely undeserved, and yet also completely deserved. We all deserve it by virtue of being human. It's undeserved as we just never know when. When is it going to come? How is it going to come? In what form is it going to come to us in? For me, and I think I've already talked about this a few times, 2 or 3 times, and the amount of time I've been live streaming. My moment of grace came in the form of an off-duty state trooper who pulled me over in maybe a mile and a half, maybe a 2-mile drive tops. And he saw me just swerve a little bit. And he told me, he almost didn't do anything because he was off duty. He was going home. He had a long day. It was someone else's problem. And yet he thought, and fortunately he did, I should check it out. It's a small thing. It's barely a swerve, but I should check it out. And he pulled me over. When I saw the light flash behind me, I was given the instant gift of sobriety. I knew I was done. Every cell in my body went from someone who drank every day to someone who just didn't drink. Stepped into a new life. Never looked back. Let's see. Sabine says, let's talk about the nice things live. Absolutely. Let's talk about Sunday night premiere. Sunday evening premiere. Afternoon for me, I guess evening for you, right? And it is the highlight of the week. Not just for, Timo was saying it's the highlight of the week. All the hard work, the fun of the journey that you guys take, and then the hard work of editing to put it out there in premiere. He said it's a highlight of the week for him, for you guys. However, it is also the highlight of the week for so many people across the world. YouTube. What a great gift YouTube is. I hear some complaints about YouTube, but through YouTube, I get to experience a drive through the Alps with my friends Timo, Sabine, and the Wonder Dog Bax. I get to have great conversations with William and Squirrel Sniper, Barb, Poor Man, Poker Man. Poor Man says, alcohol is horrible, a living nightmare. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. That's why I always say it was a gift of sobriety. And I still have people in my life struggling with it. For a while there, it gave me some guilt because when I stopped, I was done and there wasn't a struggle any longer. And I felt, man, for someone who drank so much and has a history of alcoholism in my family, I felt guilty for not struggling. And that's why I say it was a gift. And it took a long time to fully accept the fact that for whatever reason, I was given a gift. Sabine says, through YouTube, we can all connect to each other. And that is a wonder. It is. And also, think of this stuff, and that is wonderful. It is wonderful. Think of what we get to do with it. That Optimum, Sabine and Timo, get to put out the beauty of Switzerland. Sometimes the beauty of France, but primarily the beauty of Switzerland. And they get to do it from their perspective. No one in the world has that, no one in the universe has that same perspective. So we get to witness that slice of Switzerland through the lens of Optimum. That I think of that every time I do a nature short, because I don't really, I don't have the skills in editing, and I like just taking that clip, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, sometimes a minute if it's really amazing, and then putting it on, and that's it. But as I talked about with Eric LaPointe, when he first started doing it, no one else in the entire universe saw what I saw in my way at that time. 5 o'clock in the morning, a deer feeding on a bush, no one else around. I'm the only one in the entire universe who saw that. And I get to put it on my YouTube channel and share it with whoever happens to stumble across. Yeah, you will not hear me complaining about YouTube much. I did utter, it wasn't a complaint. It was more noticing that my views have gone down a lot, like 20,000 in about a month. And then Mocha said that a lot of even the big channels are experiencing the same thing. Makes me wonder why. But that's an observation. It is not a complaint. Because, hey, even with less views, I still get to do what I love to do. I get to share what I love to share. I get to come here and have wonderful conversations with people who I've come to consider very good friends. As our friend Pokeman was saying up above, it's just about being grateful. Two ways of looking at it. So I can look at how many views I'm not getting, or I can look at how many views I'm actually getting. Which way is more nourishing for the soul when you think about it? Being grateful for the views that I get, or complaining, being bitter, upset that I'm not getting what I think I should get. I've been mentioning Brian Katie and some of her wonderful teachings, and she has a wonderful, wonderful, succinct form of self-inquiry where we simply say, who would I be without this thought? If my thought wasn't what I don't have, I'm a very, well, I could become a bitter person, looking at all the stuff that I don't have. Looking at, why is this channel bigger? Why does this person get more views? Why more whatever? That's one way of looking at life, and it keeps you stuck in that energetic pattern. Or I could look at life the way Sabine, the way Pokemon, and choose to be grateful for what I have. I got this wonderful opportunity to connect with people in a meaningful way, sharing beautiful stuff. It's no contest. I'd rather be grateful. Pokemon says it's wonderful, Sabine. And a wonderful community to hang out and share each other's lives. Exactly. It's my favorite part of the day. Here's the wonderful thing about life. I get to go from one favorite part of my day to the next favorite part of my day. I love waking up and saying thank you. I love sitting in meditation. I love my yoga. I love my writing. I love being out in nature. I love doing my workout. I love coming here and being live. Everything's a favorite part of my day. Poor man says, think I might go for a swim and maybe run today in Fear Fuel. Nice. Tell the meditators that I said hi. Tell them that I will see them in the gap. Outside of maybe some parts of India, outside of Tibet, there's probably per capita more people meditating in Fairfield, Iowa than anywhere else in the world. Speed says, poor man Jim, right on. Go on run for me as well. Speed says, I wish I could run, but not yet. Maybe one day I will run again. I think if that is your focus, if that is what you're truly, truly want in your heart, I have no doubt that Sabine is going to run again. Poor man says, I will, Sabine, need a bit of recovery for my upper body. Sabine says, I am happy if I walk. Yeah, I don't run the way I used to. Occasionally, as I'm walking, I'll break out in a run for a little bit. But I enjoy my walking, and you get all the benefits of running, walking. Poor man says they have some nice trails all around town. Nice. Pokemon says, exactly. I remember being in the hospital, people visiting me, complaining about things they didn't have. Meanwhile, I was ecstatic about just being able to sit up myself, little things like that. You know what? I wonder if there's been a study, and I bet you there has. People who recover quicker and more fully, do they have that gratitude of simply being alive and the possibility of healing versus those who, as Poker was saying, who are complaining all the stuff that they don't have. Makes me wonder. Poor man says, Sabine, consider the Dietary method on your legs I mentioned. This is the name that poor man mentioned. Jesse Pollack. Dottie's here. Dottie says, hi, quick visit as I'm at my parents' this weekend. Nice. Enjoy your visit. I think we're going to call it a day in just a minute. Sabine says, cool, that sounds nice. Poor man Jim. Yeah, so we'll wrap it up. Hey, William's going to be putting out a video later today. His first, he's going to be doing some burpees and celebration and admiration and respect for what Lewis, Burpee Reaper's been doing. The poor man's going to look up the specific video. So I'm going to wait. We're going to get the video dropped by poor man, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll be back later today. If you guys are bored and you got nothing better to do, come on by, hang out, and say hi. Speed said I made a picture of it. We'll find out more about it. Thank you. You're welcome. And big thanks to poor man for putting it out there. Thanks across the board to everyone coming in. Poor man, I really appreciate you sharing your story. Inspirational, my friend. Appreciate our friend Tara stopping by, Squirrel Sniper stopping by, Jace. And Jace, thank you for sharing your story as well. Our friend Barb was here. CDB popped in. Always thankful for William. And Just One Sue. Make sure you check out the new shorts from Just One Sue. She's got some chipmunk videos up. And Kayla Bill, our good Timo, Tara, our good friend, Jive Cat the Magnificent. He is not online often. So it's always a gift when he does come online, and when he looks me up and he hangs out, even just for a little bit. Hey, he's doing his Eskrima Filipino martial art tournament this weekend. It's the Nationals. It's in Poland, and tomorrow's the last day. He won a bronze. I think it was a bronze yesterday and a silver today. So sending out well wishes to our friend Jive Cat. Maybe he can bring home the gold. So Sabine has that name, so she can find the video. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. And again, I'll be back. Appreciate everyone being here. I'll see you later. Sabine says, well, did not know that. Cool. Yep. And speaking of which, our friend Sabine used to practice. Timo was a yoga judoka, and Sabine practiced taekwondo. All right, guys. I did both taekwondo and judo at one time and another, as well as kempo karate, a little bit of Muay Thai. Kay says, hey, Yogi in chat. Kay, my friend, came in just in time to say hi, and we're saying goodbye. I will see you later. Hey, nice kettlebell swings, my friend. It was great seeing them. All right, I'm going to say goodbye. Take care, guys.